Hey, good afternoon on a Tuesday. I'm Rod Hill coming to you from Vancouver. And the overwhelming big headline, if you live in Salem, Portland, or Vancouver, not as much of a headline if you're watching us from Eugene down into Salem, but that mid to North Valley and Southwest Washington, is that the rain forecast going back to last week was way overdone. I mean, it's becoming vividly clear now that many of us here in the valley simply are not going to see any rain the remainder of today or tomorrow. And I'll get into why that is and what I missed as a forecaster. This is the national blended model. This is the update. This is what the model is showing for future radar activity, if you will. This is this afternoon at 5 p.m., showing increasing showers and maybe some thunderstorms moving up the Cascade, spilling into central Oregon. A little push of action up in Washington as well. But notice very little, if anything, in the valley. And then if you jump to tomorrow afternoon, the thunderstorm activity a little bit more robust on Wednesday in terms of eastern Oregon and central Oregon. Still the chance moving up in the Cascades and still not showing much into the valley. Now, a reminder that if we get storms moving up the Cascades, if they build all the way up to Mount Hood in the coming hours on this Tuesday, if they do that again tomorrow on Wednesday, it's still possible that we could see some scattered showers, even a spotty storm, bounce off the Cascades into the Willamette Valley. So there's still a shower threat in the forecast, but certainly it's not turning out to be the widespread moisture that I had prepared you for and even thought was still possible when we spoke back on Sunday. So we'll be getting into all of that. As always, this is brought to you by, let's see, brought to you by, is it not going to do it? Brought to you by. There we go. The Momentous Wealth Podcast. Listen on Apple Podcasts, listen on Spotify for a variety of investment topics meant to educate you. They are my sponsor, and I appreciate them very, very much. Okay. Now, I'm going to get into what's going on currently with rain and what that shower activity looks like over the next 2 days in just a moment. But I do want to touch on this because with our rain chances starting to fade, the only other headline left for me to kind of look at with interest is whether or not we're going to see more 90-degree temperatures as we get rolling through the remainder of September. Remember, the record book shows that Portland can still have 90-degree temperatures all the way into the first part of October. And certainly, it's not uncommon to have 90-degree heat at any point in the month of September, at least until you get up to the final days of the month, period. So this caught my attention. This is the 60 to 10 day outlook. So this is next week, September 15th through the 19th. And notice at the warmth being projected, I'm not going to move my cursor because it will move the image. But again, next week, you can see for yourself on the left, that's a temperature projection above normal temperatures. That doesn't mean it's going to be 90, but it certainly heightens our chance of seeing high temperatures in the 80s because the normal climate high is now slipped into the upper 70s. And it would make sense if we're going to be in the 80s that you would see below normal temperature, below normal precipitation, pardon me. So let me change this now. This is September 17th all the way to the 23rd. Same thing. In fact, much of the country above normal, certainly here in Oregon and Washington, and still below normal precipitation. This would be a bit of a change from the outlook for September that the National Weather Service came out with. Remember, their initial outlook for the month of September was um, above normal rainfall. I think they were biting heavily on, the lows that we had yesterday and today and the low that we may have next Sunday, but it's looking like none of that's going to amount to much. And of course, that would help hold temperatures down as well. So we'll see. How about 3 to 4 weeks out? Still biting on maybe some decent shower activity, September 20th through October 3rd in green, not biting on any confidence whatsoever with temperatures. So anyway, and by the way, since I have this open, you can read the headline up here. INSO neutral is most likely through late hemisphere summer. Okay. Therefore, a brief period, this is key, a brief period of La Nina is favored in the fall and early winter, and then going back to INSO neutral. So I'm going to start looking at the winter outlook for the first time, probably, well, either later this week or next week. And I typically have my winter outlook ready to give to you somewhere in mid-October. So that's coming, and I'll be looking at all of this in more depth. But for now, what I get from that headline more than anything is that it's going to be closer to just a neutral winter, is what the early look is, than anything else. I know the media is falling in love with La Nina, but look at this, a brief La Nina period that would be really weak, kind of borderline neutral, and then back to neutral. That's more neutral than La Nina. So we'll get more into that coming up in October, of course. Okay. Uh, I do want to show you radar because things are firing up. This is current radar. It's what, 3:25 in the afternoon. Thunderstorm activity along the Cascades and especially rain showers over in parts of Central Oregon, Hood River area in the Central Gorge, some thunderstorms up around Mount Adams as well. So there is some stuff happening. Portland's currently at 77 degrees. Let's look at my imagery page. This is my weather site that I own and operate, portlandweather.com. I hope you'll bookmark it on your laptop or your desktop. And if you search Portland weather in the App Store for Android or iPhone, I'm in both stores. And you can, my logo is on the information, and you can see that, and you can download it there as well. Okay. Here's the bigger radar. Also, some thunderstorms out eyeing the Blue Mountains, it looks like, out to the far east. Here's a satellite picture. What visible pictures on these convective days where you get the building cumulus clouds are really great to see because you've got so much definition. So look at the definition of these cumulus towers just popping here, moving up against the what would be the east flank of the Cascades. Pretty impressive. And you see all this activity in Central Oregon and even parts of Southern Oregon. And of course, the question for tonight is, will any of this pop over the Cascade Range and make it into the Willamette Valley? All I can tell you is that's possible. I will add, as we saw a moment ago, that the weather models really aren't biting on any rain for Portland, but something that we continue to watch. Here's the upper level low. See the enclosed contour? That's right, pretty much right over Medford. This has expanded the low a little bit over much of Western Oregon, but for the most part, the bullseye, the lowest pressure has been right over Medford. And if you look over here, you can see see the X's, that's lightning up and down the Cascades, in fact, nearing Mount Hood. So there's a light show happening off to our east. If you step outside, you might be able to see it. Let me go to our live camera network again. This is on my weather site, portlandweather.com. The coast is lovely. Oh, good grief. Look at the Dundee Hills, Domain Stream Winery. Boy, that's sunny. But then you have the clouds in Sun River Resort where there's some rain building. Get up in the Cascades, Mount Hood, Oregon Resort at Welch's. Certainly a better chance of rain in the Cascade foothills than the flats of the valley. There it looks like at least some Virga in Aspen Lakes Golf Course over in the Sisters area. Warm Springs, not picking up much yet that far north. Okay, all right. Let's show you the flow pattern. So that's it for rain. I think I could spin my wheels and show you more weather models, but bottom line is thunderstorm activity building now over the Cascades. Bottom line, we'll see that again tomorrow. Bottom line, maybe some of that spills into the valley. The models say, not much. Um, so we'll see. Here's the overall flow pattern, and this is this afternoon at 5 p.m. Here's the upper level low, again, pretty much over Medford. So what I missed as a forecaster, and I should have really tuned into this, was that there's no surface feature with this. So yeah, there's an upper level low. That makes us unstable, which makes a forecaster think convection, cumulus clouds, especially near the mountains. You get the little added lift from the topography itself. The air hits the mountains, it's got to go up like you would if you're driving over the mountains. That produces lift, you get thunderstorms. But if there's no surface feature in the flats of the valley or along the coast, like a cold front that would also produce lift, there's nothing to actually get the ball rolling. There's nothing to actually get lift going to increase the water cycle, increase the evaporation, build up clouds, produce rain. So you're merely left with kind of sporadic areas of instability due to an upper level low aloft, and the best chance of rain with that is almost always over the mountains. So as a forecaster, I should have seen that. I should have recognized it. I should have, from that alone, known early on that the model output was probably way too much for rain chances in the valley. Or if we were going to get something in the valley, it would be simply from spillover storms from the Cascades, and that's always spotty in nature. So that's a bad call on my part. Okay. Let's play this along. So we have the same deal. Maybe we get some rain on Wednesday. Maybe we don't. There's that upper level low just kind of weakening and broadening out. You can see it there. By Thursday, there's no rain chance here on the west side. Here's Thursday afternoon because now the low is shifted. It's weakened and it's shifted eastward. And then as we go into Thursday, we start feeding off of this ridging out in the Pacific. So that's a dry day. The ridging right here, look at the ridging. It's not overly strong. We may just get up to 80. That's Friday. The dry forecast continues on Saturday. We may just get up to 80. And then comes our next rain chance. This is Sunday morning. Now, if you're a longtime viewer of these videos, I often talk about the 576 pressure contour at 18,000 feet. It doesn't apply for convection, unlike storms popping over the Cascades. But it does apply if you're tracking a weather system marching inland off the Pacific, which is this case. So 576, 573, we're about 571, 572 contour. That's low enough to say there's at least a chance of rain in Sunday's forecast. The modeling, generally speaking, is showing this is very weak, which is what you're looking at, meaning there's no guaranteed chance of rain, but it is in the forecast, and it looks like it's just for Sunday. Because by Monday, look at this, we get rapid ridging building in. This is Monday of next week, the 15th of September. And then here's Tuesday. Notice there's ridging, it goes well up into Canada. So 588, 82. I mean, this is definitely a day that you would expect to be up into the 80s. Okay. Remember that outlook from NOAA or the Weather Service above normal temperatures next week? Here's Wednesday, still warm. And then if you go in, oh, let me back up. This is Thursday, excuse me, this is Wednesday evening of next week. Wednesday evening of next week, week from tomorrow. 591 high out in the Pacific. That's strong, especially for this time of the year. There's the ridging. So will that strong ridge hold together nose inland a bit? And if it were, then you could make the argument that maybe Thursday, Friday of next week, we would be close to 90 degrees if this ridge just noses a little bit more inland than what this model is showing. You're also hearing me talk about ridging, which means it's dry. That's all dry next week once we get past that Sunday rain chance this weekend. And then really nothing really grabs your attention all the way through September 24th. Kind of cools down a little bit, but no big strong rain chances there. So that's it. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to show you. Let's go around the horn real quick. So Medford, the showers today, the upper level lows down in that southwest corner of our state. The showers today have been most consistent around Medford and as far north as Eugene. So that could continue tomorrow. Thursday, by Thursday, the rain is probably off to Medford's east. This is holding on to a shower chance, but really I think it's today and tomorrow. Then you got Friday, Saturday, that weak system we pointed out, Sunday into Monday morning. Okay, all right. No real hot weather. Did you see that? How about Bend? Thunderstorms today, yeah. Thunderstorm chance tomorrow, yeah. Then all dry Friday, Saturday. This says showers likely on Sunday. That's that weakening system that may or may not bring some showers to the east side of the Cascades. So, but again, nothing hot. Shows 80 degrees on Saturday. All right, let's go up to Seattle. Seattle not impacted at all, doesn't look like, by the low that we're tracking for today and tomorrow. So that's becoming sunny, 70s all the way into Saturday. There's that weak Pacific trough giving a chance of rain Sunday to Monday. And that's it. Pretty quiet, really, right? Salem, this says showers likely this afternoon. In reality, that likely chance of rain is to the south of Salem. But I'm not going to say likely, but a decent chance of scattered showers going into this evening in the mid-valley. Some of the models have been showing that from weakening storms bouncing off the Cascades. We'll watch the rain chances tomorrow. I think you're dry on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't think it's likely, but we'll watch a shower chance on Sunday as well. Okay. North Bend, now you've got some rain down there, certainly today. Tomorrow, the rain could be off to your east. I'm sorry. Rain chances today, yes. Rain chances tomorrow. Thursday is the day the rain could be off to your east. And then you've got a chance of some showers developing this weekend. Astoria, this afternoon, no legitimate chance of rain. So if this is correct, it's all dry on the north coast through Friday, then a chance of rain developing later Saturday into Sunday with that trough coming in that looks weak. And here's my Portland 7-day. 77 this afternoon, maybe a little bit warmer. The shower chance that we talked about. Sun and a scattered shower chance tomorrow, 70s. Morning clouds to sun, dry on Thursday. And then 77, 80 Friday, Saturday. Maybe Friday gets close to 80. We'll see. Then shower chance for the Portland area, at least what the models are showing right now, only on Sunday. If you have plans Sunday, it's not a guarantee of a bit of rain. It might just end up being partly sunny, a little bit cooler than if we got a dry start on Monday. That is your update. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. You'll be notified when I post. It helps me out too. I'm Rod Hill. I'll talk to you soon.